Welcome to What's on Your Mind, where we say it as is on our minds, guys. My name is Evelyn, and
My name is Joy.
I'm Sonia.
and it's nice to meet you guys. Welcome to our very first episode, where we shall be exploring a topic that I think it's more common than it's something that pertains to our daily lives, but I don't think we have enough conversations about it.
Yeah.
And that is what has been on my mind this past week. So I want us to get into it.
Okay.
So, to start, I'll pose a question to you guys. Do you ever feel like this is just you? You're alone. You wake up in the morning and it's you against the world. Nobody's coming to save you.
Yeah.
Nobody is coming to listen
Coming
to your
through at
problem.
all.
Hey, you get what I mean?
Yeah.
So do you have those moments, and what do they look like for you, Joy?
So many moments like that. Yeah. I mean, if you stay alone, if you just have to go out, come back, go out, come back, and it's just you, that's already one of them. Like, that's already a problem for me.
Yeah.
But my one that stands out really is taking myself to the hospital.
I think that's a common
Guys, having to take myself to the hospital is like one of the hardest things as an adult.
Why?
Like, it's a thing I'd never done, first of all, even as an adult. I mean, like, even in the past year. So recently, I think last year, I had to walk into the hospital by myself. I was in the hospital thinking, do I have friends? Where are my siblings? Where are my parents? Because why am I here alone? Why am I telling the doctor what I'm suffering
and why
from?
why
Why am I moving to the lab? Why I did call them is my parents were not around. My siblings are all busy. You all were at work because it was a work day.
Yeah.
Also, again, it was me who was sick.
Yeah.
And it's actually dawned down on me that I was actually on my own. I had to do this by myself. Woke up in the morning, prepared, moved into the hospital, and told the doctor what was wrong. I was not feeling so sick, but I left feeling so sick. Why?
Because you were alone.
I was alone. And I'm like, what happened? Like, how did we get here, first of all? Like, how did we get to a point where I have to be by myself?
Yeah.
I had never done that.
And you know how our moms used to.
It was so sad. Meanwhile, I think I was actually very emotional, probably cried or something.
Yeah.
It was so bad. Like, what do you mean I am? Time has come when I am by myself. I am on my own. Like, I did because I have many siblings, friends, and all these things.
Yeah.
I always thought, I'll call someone and, we'll go together. Even my siblings, I mean, they're older, so they will like, treat me as a child and say, what's wrong?
Kambi, I can't
Let's take you.
Yeah,
so having to take myself to the hospital was one of those scenarios that actually, it actually opened my eyes and be like, I am on my own.
I think that's a good example where you wake up and you have to make things happen by yourself from start to finish. It's just you. Yeah. So when have you felt alone? Me, I can't relate to what she's saying.
Yeah.
As a firstborn child, I have gone to hospital by myself too many times. So, but we shall get back to that. It is triggering me. What might you tell us?
When have I felt alone?
Yeah.
So many times, honestly speaking. Life just gets a lot. Once you realize, oh, I'm an adult. I'm in a space where my parents are not, my siblings are not, my friends are not. I'm on my own in the workplace. So many times, honestly speaking. Yeah. But the one time I really realized I was alone was that situation you guys know, where everything around me seemed like, bro, everything is against you. The world is against you. I'm in Mbarara on my own. I just lost my friend. Yeah. My other friends, a lot was going on. I was alone, honestly speaking. I was alone, and that was just it. The only thing I had was God, was to ask God, hey, bro, where did I go wrong? Like, what's going on here? Yeah, I don't think I'd ever felt that alone in my life. Yeah. Yeah. You're so sorry. No, it wasn't you guys, but because of the whole situation that was happening, it was you asking yourself, are these people actually also my friends? Because there was just a lot going. You know the dynamic of everything that.
I think we should have done better as friends. Yeah, we need to do an episode about friendships.
We are coming.
Because we did not know that you felt alone at the moment. I mean, we knew what was going on. It was affecting all of us. I think I actually felt alone also. partly during the situation, but I now understand that it was so bad for you. You must have felt really, really alone.
Terrible. But yeah, but just as adulthood in general, you are actually on your own when you think about it. Your parents can come to save you, but not always. Your friends can come to save you, but not always. You know your people, because at the end of the day, we all have support systems, and they can come to save you, but not all the time.
So, yeah, and I think for me, another example maybe I think a lot of us can relate to is, when you wake up and you make a mistake at work,
Yeah.
and you mess up something, you will feel so alone because in that moment, it does not feel like your coworkers have your back. You don't know what you're going to tell your boss. Your parents cannot save you from a career mistake. Yeah. It's like you wake up and, several managers have been looked into it. And it's just, where do we go from here? So I think also that's just one of them. But then also, of course, now the general one that I think most of us can relate to is how the weekend, a week has ended, you go back to your house and you're in your house for the rest of the weekend. Why? Your coworkers are not your friends. You know what we've come to believe, with time, Your coworkers are not your friends. People that you meet on the street are not your friends. I don't know you like that. So it's like, so you're on your own, basically. Yeah. So that is what we want to talk about today, guys. We are, it would seem that in general, we are on our own. You have examples, you can feel alone. You're in a group setting, but you're alone. You're surrounded by people, but you feel alone. You're seated with these people at work 8 hours of every day, Monday to Friday, but you're still alone because they're not your friends. This is what we've been taught and what we have come to believe. So that's something that we want to look into. What is the reality and what is the illusion? Is it actually true that we're on our own, or do we think that we're on our own? Yeah. So I want to know what your perspective is on that. Are we actually on our own, or have we come to a point where we believe that we are on our own? So I'll approach it like this. I feel like we are on our own by our own doing as human beings. We've created a society or a system where you end up standing by yourself. Yeah. But in reality, you don't have to be. You're surrounded by people that love you, they cherish you. You're surrounded by people that are cheering you on, that wish the very best for you. But the difference is that they're also slaves to this system that we have created. Yeah, because now they're also standing alone. So they're kind of pouring from an empty cup.
Yeah.
So what I think is that over the years, as society, we prioritized the individual. Individualism has really, really become what we have fallen back to in terms of economic growth, social growth. We want individual excellence to take priority before the community. So sometime in history, I think, we sat, Bambi, me and history, you know me. We sat down and agreed. I don't know if there's a round table for that, what are you bringing to the table?
Yeah.
Sonia, dear, what do you bring to the table? And so that quickly became, how are you contributing to society in your capacity as Evelyn? What talents do you have? How much money can you make us? How much money do you have in your pocket? How much? And so we created what we call the rat race. Yeah. So now people are in a race to be the richest, the most influential, and the only way to be very good at that race is to do it alone.
Yeah.
Because community drags you behind.
Yeah, sure.
So I'm trying to show how we have arrived to a point where the reality is that we are on our own. So you will find that even if I called you today, Joy, let's hang out tomorrow, you're probably immediately thinking, if I hang out with Evelyn for 2 hours, how much money am I losing? I could have done this instead, because at the end of the day, you will have people asking you, hey dear, at your age, where is the land title? Where is the car? Where is the house?
Yeah.
So it's very important that you shine as an individual. So the byproduct of a society like that is that we've become isolated. because the competition of you're at work, your coworkers are not your friends. Why? You're suspicious of them. Because you become too close, they will use that information against you. The neighbor, don't get too close to the neighbor. Those people will come and rob you. And all of that is coming from that race that we have to shine as individuals. And so you find it's very common to end up, it's safer to be by yourself because you set your own rules, you can run your own race, nobody's interfering. And so here we are.
I think sometimes it's actually
later,
it's from a place of security.
What do you mean?
Get it? A place of security, like you see what you're talking about, workplaces. Sometimes, indeed, that information will be used against you.
Yeah.
Yeah. Your intentions are not her intentions.
Yeah.
You get it? Even your boss's intention. So sometimes it's from a place of security, even actually at home. They're telling you, don't get close to your neighbors. They'll rob you. They'll do something to you.
Yeah.
They will actually do it.
But why?
They will actually be thieves and they will come to rob you. Sometimes it's from a place of security.
Exactly. But that's what I'm saying.
Again, it's what the community has built. We've built that.
Exactly.
Individualism of it. What if this person is actually a con man?
Yeah.
And I'm actually entertaining them for 2-3 minutes before I know, can't see my laptop.
Exactly. Because remember, even the thief is trying to get ahead in this race that we created. Because, dear, for you think you can have a laptop. I don't have a million shillings for a laptop. So I'll take you. Because I also need the laptop to shine. Hey.
So all in all, everyone is trying to be a star.
Hey, we all want to shine, please. Because what do you mean? For you, your kid is going to KPS. I will, if you invite me as your farm manager, I will rob you blind. Because, guys, not me, I am not a thief. Nayenga, you get the point. It's now become, it's a survival for the fittest, as we've always said. True. And so we've coined these terms that we like of me, I'm an introvert. I am a homebody. You're not an introvert, dear. It's against your will that you're in that house, because you can't go anywhere. You can't just walk up to a person, hi, how are you? And then try and make a connection, because then you're thinking, what does this one want from me? I'm not saying be besties with everybody, but can you try and be open to connections, be open to nurturing new connections? So yes, finally, what I was trying to paint is that we have brought ourselves to this point of human civilization where we are alone. We have designed systems that isolate us. We have replaced human beings with technology, for example. Joy, I know that Joy will enlighten us on the technology bit.
Yeah.
You land at the airport. I'm not going to call my dad who is a million miles away from the airport, or call a friend who is all the way across, Kampala. I'll just Uber back home. So now already we've eliminated that relying on people. Yeah. Instead of having rapport with a restaurant owner and getting to know them and have them send me food and what, Glovo has eliminated the need for that. I don't have to deal with the restaurant. They don't have to deal with me. They just have to cook food and send it to my house. So we have an entire ecosystem that is essentially a race to see who is more independent than the other. And so here we are, guys. Kati, we've arrived. Sicho, this is why we are feeling alone. It is our fault. And we are still enabling this system.
We did. Yeah. Sure,
and we are still enabling this system. So, given that background, do you think that we actually, from my perspective, we are alone, but should we be, is it what the reality is, given the people that surround us?
Well, that depends on so many factors. Like you've already said, we did this to ourselves. You're trying to be part of the group that's married, you get married to someone you don't like. You're trying to be the factions, humanity. No, that was just an example, guys.
Yeah.
The factions that humanity has created, there's the rich, there's the middle class, there's this.
The poor, yeah.
In school itself, there were the cool kids. There was this, there was that. There's a point at which everyone feels alone. Yeah. Before I get to the cool kids club, I'm alone. Yeah? I'm alone. I remember the time I joined S5. I was from another school. I joined this new school. I'm in a class, I don't know anybody. But in this class, there's people that have come from S1 to S4 and they've been together the whole time. And then they're looking at you like, who's this new girl? Who are you? And I'm just trying to exist, yeah? So there's a point at which everyone will feel alone. Everyone is actually on their own. Do we have to be? Not at all. Not at all. Because you know you're loved at home, first of all.
Yes.
Unless otherwise. Because sometimes you're not loved at home. No. You actually know. Yeah. You're loved at home. Yeah, well, let's assume good things. You're loved at home. You're loved by the people you call friends, if they're actually your friends. You're loved even at work. You will know, I'm doing my work. I'm not disturbing anyone. Why are you hating? You're satisfied with what you're bringing to the table. So we choose to be alone.
Yeah.
Because there's people. I'll give an example of what example can I give? Let's say I got married today. I will be the one to make the choice to keep Joy as a friend. It's not on Joy. It's not on Evelyn to keep, it's me to know, oh, Joy is my friend. I have a free weekend. Joy, hi, can we meet? Hi, Evelyn, can we meet? Yeah. Can we do this? Can we do that? And it's so new to say, oh, I'm not able to because of this and this reason. Communication, it dies somewhere because people are scared to be human. People are scared to be human. People are scared to be, no, I'm not alone. No, I'm not, I'm sorry, no, I'm alone. I'm on my own. I have to do this alone. I have to do, but sometimes it gets so overwhelming. It gets so overwhelming that you die in your being alone. Yeah, you collapse into it. Yeah. So it's a choice that you make. It's a choice that people make to be alone. You don't have to. You don't have to be alone. You don't have to do everything alone. And also, no man is an island. Absolutely not. You're always going to need people. You're going to need people. That's a fact of life. Yeah. You're going to need people. You will need your boss. Even when you leave that job, you will need your boss sometime. You will need that colleague sometime. Because now, for example, in our profession, honestly speaking, I cannot say, oh, I'm not going to need someone. Yeah. Because I'll be working on something and I'll say, but I think there's case law on this. I call Joy. Joy, do you know any case on this? Or, you always need someone. You always need your neighbor. Let's say you're not at home and you need something at home. You always need the traffic officer.
You're not greeting. You're an introvert.
You'll need the traffic officer that's on the road directing. Yes. Yeah. Even when there are traffic lights, you can say, no, but there are traffic lights. Why aren't we? Yeah. No. But we know this Kampala. So you will need that traffic officer. You will need that friend that you've not talked to in a very long time, but for them in their hearts, you're still their buddy. You will, that sibling, that cousin, that aunt, that uncle, all those dynamics. We always need people. You cannot shun yourself. You cannot,
Now that you mentioned needing the people, you know that illusion that social media creates. So you're always connected. You're always accessible. So do you think social media is also playing into isolating?
Yeah.
Because it makes you comfortable. You always feel like, she's just a text away. If I ever need, I'll just send her text. There's this illusion of community that social media has created that doesn't actually translate into real life community. Because yes, I'll probably put out a tweet and people might engage on it and it might seem like I have a community of like-minded people out there. But do I really? These are strangers behind my screen.
Yeah.
So could you maybe, do you know how we can draw that, what is it called? Can just shed more light for us on how social media has also kind of isolated us a bit in terms of just giving us an illusion of community.
I think social media I don't want to say it has done the harm, with isolating us, because it has taught us several times, motivational speakers, and everyone comes out and tells us, you're on your own, no one is coming to save you.
My favorite one is, out of your 20 friends, do you have one that can give you 50 million? Now, guys.
So, social media has actually done that. I mean, it's always, guys, I'm here to vent. Who are you venting to? who are you venting to?
But I do not
Yeah.
care. Oh
Yeah,
my God.
They're not even there. Like, I do not know you.
I will just
I
scroll.
do not know you,
You
but
know?
you're venting, and you know why? You feel like actually after venting, I think of social media, you feel lighter.
Man, I asked Tera Makan.
Hey.
Tell us and we see.
You feel lighter after that, but are you feeling lighter because you feel lighter, or is it because you feel like yourself, you've done this, you've taken off the weight that was on you,
Yeah.
onto who? No one. Yeah. So it has actually made you. Yes. And I mean,
Even
like,
follow
a friend
them,
comes
yeah.
onto social media and says, all those friends of yours are not your friends. Friend A did this. Friend storytelling. Proud my friends did this. Yes, it's true. Some friends really are not friends. That would be a whole episode. But social media has contributed so much to isolating us.
Yeah.
Yeah.
I think
Because
so.
you feel like I can put out a tweet and say, oh my God, workmates, please do this. Please, sometimes we're having a heavy day, read between the lines. And you feel like you've communicated, you have a whole community, but it is non-existent. You get it? Because if I am saying, oh guys, who is going to, let's say, watch a match today? Everyone's going to be like, yes, I'll be at here, I'll be at Chadondo, I'll be at this. And then you will just go by yourself.
Because you go.
Yet you would rather call Evelyn, hi guys, let's go and watch a match.
Yeah.
Hi guys, let's go for a movie. You know? And then maybe while at the movies, you can tell them, oh guys, I've been going through this. You know?
Yeah.
But because there is social media and you guys, there is this and this and this, and you're going with people you do not know, that feels lighter.
Yeah.
Yeah. And now social media, okay, now I'm going to go further into social media has made it easy for us to get things we want by like, guys, I give home services, like what, cleaning services,
Moving
services, and then I will plan to move by myself because I think I am by myself. I am alone. No, Sonia is not going to leave
Don't
her
want to
home,
bother.
drive all the way to come and probably help me with, a few things. So I'd rather have a stranger come into my place and clean it, and then feel like I've done it by myself.
We've
and
eliminated
community.
Yeah.
I
think so.
Yeah.
If I talk. Social media. I feel like it's also a place where the very worst among us have converged.
Yes.
You know?
Yes.
And so it has amplified. You know, when you're so exposed to negative information, it just amplifies all the fears you already have. All that, you were saying about like security. People have been bad since time immemorial. We've had murderers, we've had all kinds of vile people all through human history. But today what happens is that you find at least 2 bad stories on social media every day. Minimum. This person broke into this one's house. This one. So we've become overly cautious and suspicious of each other. Again, hey, you know me and the capitalism. I will always draw a line from every kind of suffering.
Yeah.
Directly connected to capitalism. Because we've
Yeah.
created an environment where it's almost necessary even for people to like steal very actively because of the social and economic inequalities of all the problems that we've created for ourselves. So now we are much more vigilant every time you're consuming negative media every single day. So it's much safer to stay in your house. It is much safer to not trust that coworker. It is much safer to just stick to your siblings and your parents and a few friends. And then we've also coined our terms of, as you get older, you just need one good friend.
Or even none.
But you see, as human beings,
Yeah.
But you see, we have so much capacity to love as human beings.
Oh, you've seen memes
It's
that
not
say,
limited.
memes that say, you see that boring life of yours, staying indoors, it has saved you from a lot.
Has it?
Has it?
Or has it isolated you?
Has it?
I'm not asking you to leave your house and then hug everybody that you meet on your way to the
But
supermarket.
in the community.
But be open to new connections, be open to now. And speaking of that, we're going to explore how this kind of isolation has affected communities that we are in. What does it look like? How have we gone from being just, hey, me, I am an independence champion, independent woman, independent successful, independent, you just absolutely rely on yourself. You're not leaning against your friends. You're not leaning against. No, Manya, if I wake up like today and I have a problem, I'm not thinking, let me call home and see if they can help me. It's not the first thing in my head because, again, we've been trained to start with yourself. I am thinking, which app can give me a roadmap of how to solve this? I'm thinking, what does AI think about this? Am I hungry? Instead of calling my mom and ask her, hey dear, send me some Irish. No, immediately I'm thinking, what loan can I take out to buy food tomorrow? you understand? It's
It's
like,
not even calling a friend.
yeah, like for
Yeah.
example, I know that Joy always has what? Vinewa in her house. But I will not call Joy. Why? I don't want to bother her. So it's like I'll take a more cash. What's that loan?
I don't know.
Take like a
Mobile cash.
that loan and I buy Ginat. Instead of calling Joy who always has Ginat in excess. You understand? So I want us to see how has that also affected us as people. What are those effects? What do we see in everyday life that has become a result of that individualism where everyone is an individual by themselves? We're just, what are some of the things you have seen around you?
I would say you're missing out. You're missing out on a lot of love, on a lot of knowledge, on just community. When I think of, let's begin with our grandparents back then, guys, there were no phones, there was no social media. Like, it was just you and your neighbor. To get to know, it would be horrible. But those guys, my dad used to tell me that, to get to communicate with someone in Kampala, you would have to wait for the bus to come, or go bus, go and tell, which takes a week. It was a whole process, but the person would get to know. The person would get to know. You would need your neighbor to help you to farming things that I don't remember the terms. But
what do you mean?
No, like, I don't remember the terms. I don't remember. Planting, all those things.
Did you not do agriculture in school?
No.
Does she remember?
I stopped on
So
science.
agriculture.
Up to senior 2.
What do you mean? You
Up to
guys.
senior-
But also my parents are farmers, so I am very familiar with all
those
these
things.
terms.
I know those things, but studying it, I just had to stop at senior 2 with it.
Me, I did up
carry
to
it on.
Form 4
But I
year.
know everything else with
And then
math.
my young brother, not the youngest, the younger one, he has also done agriculture at A level.
My sister too.
So dear, when the apocalypse comes, we shall give you food. Yeah, correct. Yeah.
But people, you're missing out. You're missing out. That whole notion of "Ngaha, I'm alone. No one is coming to save me. I don't need people. I don't need you because I've had a disagreement with Joy, and instead of talking to Joy and finding a solution, Ngaha, I can do it on my own. I don't have to look for Joy. I don't need my boss. I can leave my job and I'll be fine. Yeah, I don't need to talk to people at work. I can do it alone. I can win alone. I can read a case alone.
Serving me, so I'm going to drop it.
Yeah, guys,
Hey,
you're missing out because people are very knowledgeable. Wow.
But also very reliable.
Exactly. People are so reliable. People want to be your friend.
In fact, people make things happen. They make the world go round.
Thank you.
So you absolutely cannot
You
need people. You can't not need people.
being by yourself.
Yeah, all in all, you are missing out. Do not be afraid to reach out to your people. Do not be afraid to make new connections. Because I used to be like that. I'm someone who, I'm so reserved. Yeah, if I'm in a new place, I first study before I take.
I tell you, overstudy as if for
Exactly.
for so long.
But I think being people are go-getters. I was talking to Grace about this the other day, and she's like, "Bro, people grab the bull by its horns and they go at it." So
Very nice.
it's a very good thing. So if you keep to yourself, if you're like, "Nah, bro,
You will get left.
the world is going to leave you behind." So
I think isolation is the fastest way to go back to like lower class
Aha.
society, especially in today's time, where the more visible you are, the better chance you have at excelling, at going forward. So when you keep to yourself, you think you know that one thing I do not like is if it's meant for you, it will find you.
Where?
Mwah.
Where?
I feel like that's very lazy
Yeah.
thinking. Because where will it find you?
Where?
Also, this thing that is meant for you has no legs.
That's true.
Sometimes you actually have to create it. So you absolutely have to leave the house and go and make things happen. But yes, speaking of those effects as well, I think another angle that I have seen is the mental health challenges recently. It's not unique to just the modern times or the recent times, but I think it's much more amplified, and it's a result of that.
Yeah.
Because by being isolated, we kind of did a trade. You want to be excellent as an individual. You want to be a CEO, you want to rise through the ranks, you have to have the best business in town, you want to absolutely shine. But the cost of that is that as you go higher, you're alone up there.
True.
Nobody can reach you. And so that means that on a day where you're overwhelmed by thoughts, by problems, by challenges, you're standing by yourself. And so you begin to collapse mentally, emotionally, So it has become much more common because we can't even rely on each other. So as you keep all of these things to yourself and deal with them by yourself, you want to be the pillar of independence in society, it's not sustainable. You begin to collapse in on yourself. And so again, it is our fault as a society. We've created environment. We did that.
We just need to do better.
So much as a species. What is that even? It's all about who is the most independent of us all, who has the most money, and so we are just absolutely
to champion a campaign that is against being alone, being
yourself. I hate it so much. It's the obsession with, I can't rely on you. I don't want to appear like I need you too much. It's just
it's not working.
It is artificial. We've created it, and it's not natural for a human being to be isolated. It is not. So that's one of the significant ones. What else?
I think the other one is it has caused so much competition, the unhealthy competition and stress. Like so much people, you're very stressed out there because, Sonia is doing her master's. She's bought a car. She's like, there is so much competition. You're going to end up being overly stressed and competing in a very unhealthy way, doing something that you would not have ordinarily done because you want to achieve what she's doing. Because you're on your own. How can she be achieving this? Like, again, it links to the mental health problems, but you are under so much competition that is very unnecessary. That you should not have, gotten into if you are together and, she's telling you guys, let's do this business, let's do, let's maybe make a farm, whatever, So you are very stressed over a lot of things, really. Like, life is probably not going so well, but you're on your own again. Yes, you've isolated yourself, and now you cannot take it out on anyone, so it is eating you up. It is eating you up, and now you tend to compete so badly. You're scared of your colleagues at work. Your colleagues, anytime they could throw you under the bus.
Everyone is like,
hey, speaking of that competition,
they could throw you under the bus anytime.
Speaking of that competition, you know how when you meet like an old schoolmate, and then the first thing is, so where are you these days? What are you doing these days? What have you been up to? We are immediately gauging each other. How much better am I than this person? You used to be clever in class, but now you're there on that desk. Here I am traveling every month. So no thanks, I am better than you. So that's weird competition that we've done. And I think it comes from, we have set like a target for society as a whole. You know how I like talking about the Ugandan dream, study, finish, graduate. Where is the job? Where is the man? Which house are you renting? Where is the man? Where are the kids? Where is now your own house?
Retirement.
We don't want to be
where is the land?
Built?
How many titles?
How many permanent secretaries do you have on speed dial? Because now it also becomes your social network. How heavy are you?
Where are you taking your kids to school?
Do you understand?
Education?
Exactly. No. So now we start to gauge ourselves against those metrics. And then we become a society where everyone must outshine the other. All the motivational speakers are talking about, don't just be ordinary, be extraordinary. Thank God, I hate it so much. Like,
stand out.
Every time I hear such speeches, I'm like, stop it.
Like, I get this stand out.
Hey, you have to stand out. You cannot be. It's all about how much better are you than this other person, and it's not sustainable. It's such a strain on people. The connections are now very shallow.
Yeah,
Good
true.
networking event. Please, I'm there to see how much you can give me. I'm not here to be your friend.
What business you can give me
How
next
many
month?
clients can
Yeah.
you bring me, Sonia? So why are we trying to be besties?
Mm.
No, I am here to network. I need to get access to your contact list. You need access to mine, and that is all it is. So we've lost the real connections that we could make.
I hate that competition for one thing. Guys, there's room for all of us. There's room for all of us. Just because someone else is selling earrings doesn't mean your earrings are not kawa. No. You know?
Doing a podcast because there's room for all of us.
There's
Yeah.
room.
You know how we were overthinking it, like
Yeah.
everybody's doing this. Why are we? Why are we? Guys, there's room for all of us.
There's room for all of us in every profession, in everything in the world. There's room for all of us. Because if not, I mean, there's something created every single day. So to have that unhealthy competition, you're dying, you're killing yourself. Because why? Just because Joy has a Range Rover doesn't mean I should have a Range Rover. Guys, if you find Joy is not in a Range Rover, don't say I told you that. But
In the comments, don't be like, that Joy wasn't a Range Rover I saw.
But yeah, just because Joy has a mansion doesn't mean the house I live in is less than. You know, you're killing yourself. You are putting what's living beyond your means. There are people who are also doing that.
But dear, you know how they say the only way to be happy is to live beyond your means. You guys,
Okay,
anyway, that's the
our own
delusion. But
perspective.
do you know how happy I be when I have like seafood? And yet, the
But again,
budget.
it's in your means.
Let's
Yeah.
continue and we see.
No, you want to have Joy's life because you're feeling my life is less than, I'm not making it, I'm not. But there will be a time when you're also making it. Yes, we can't all have the same goals. We can't all have the same dream. We are all lawyers, but I know we all don't have the same dream. I know Evelyn's dream is not my dream. That one I'm sure. Even Joy's is not my dream. But we're all in the same profession. You understand? So there's room for all of us. Make room in your mind to also know. Just because, think bigger, just because this person is winning in this way doesn't mean I'm not winning, because you're also better than another person who's also looking at you and saying, Sonia, what? Kumbe? You're also saying, Ngaha, this is not where I'm stopping, you know? So there's room for all of us. Make room in your mind to know that we can all make it. Yes? Set a different dream. Just because Sonia wants to be a judge doesn't mean when I become a judge, I'm doing better than you who's not a judge. You understand? So look at it from flip the perspective sometimes. You know? Don't be stuck in a box that our ancestors created.
Wait, that peer pressure from ancestors that we call tradition. And you're such a clever babe. Have you listened to her speech?
Yes, I did.
Yeah, sorry. Anyway, yes. So I think you've opened now our next step of this discussion. How are we coping with this isolation that we have become so comfortable with? How are we dealing with this aloneness that we feel? Yeah. So flip the perspective.
Yeah, sure.
All right. Senior counsel.
Touch color. You know our profession and that term. You actually have to earn it. Yeah. But how do we cope? You are not alone, guys. First of all, like I already mentioned, you are loved at home. You are loved at home. Mob. Yeah, you're loved at home. You're loved by your parents, by your siblings, your sisters, your brothers, even your friends, honestly speaking. There's a lot of love in the world. There's a lot of love to give. Literally, why God created us was to love. Like, that was his main goal. Yeah. The guys, love each other. Love each other. And it's easy to love. It's easy to show someone that I care about you, that you're not alone. And it's easy to pick up the phone and say, Evelyn, I'm not okay. And Evelyn will actually run to my rescue. Yeah. It's to know who your people are. It's to know who you will need at what point. And when you actually reach out, what comes from the heart is, is what shows who you are. If you're showing beef with everyone, bro, people are not going to see you as a good person. You've created that for yourself. But if I'm going to run to Joy and say, oh, Joy, this and this and this is not going well, best believe that when Joy is in that in a funny situation, she will not hesitate to pick the phone and say, Sonia, this is happening. Yes. Or even at work, I know people say you can't be friends with work. It's not true. It's not true. Because yeah, I've seen my workmates do way beyond what a brother can do for you. Yeah. My workplace, yes. I've seen amazing, honestly speaking. That's why I don't believe in the notion of yeah, yeah. There's some that are not your friends, but you can also see, you can also gauge because you know we're using our minds and our brains. So you can gauge, yeah, you can know when to need Joy, when to need this person in the professional world, when to you can gauge, you understand. But all in all, you are not alone. That's not true. And above all, Jesus loves you. You know, at least if humanity fails, you have God. You get.
Yeah, but I don't also it's not I don't think it's as easy as love people leave the perspective. It's not as easy as that because you know we have very diverse circumstances as human beings. We've been conditioned differently based on where we grew up, how we were raised, who raised us. So it's not as easy as get out of your house, get out. Sometimes we need much more help. And so, guys, I know this one can trigger Africans, but can you go to therapy? Oh, like therapy is crazy expensive.
Oh yeah.
Let me tell you, huh? Therapy is so expensive. You know, one time I tried to reach out to a therapist. At 250 per hour, until hey, so let's fast wait. And this was back then that we had just started like working. We had I was like, let me stick to podcasts. Because you see, the internet, for all of its faults, has also created communities that are relatable. You know, you can find people that are talking about what you've been through, what it is that's on your mind as well. So the internet has a lot of people that you can come across that are speaking about what it is you're going through. Seek out familiar, you know, those topics, like-minded people. Seek out people that are sharing about. See, maybe you can learn from someone else. You know, for me, I don't believe in experience is the best teacher. Sometimes you don't have to experience it to learn it.
Yeah,
You
true,
can
true,
simply
true.
learn from someone else.
Who else? Yeah.
Yes. So it may not be as easy as leave your house, talk to your coworkers, talk to your neighbors, but you can. It's something that you can practice to do. Yeah. I don't expect myself, for example, me. I don't expect that tomorrow I'll wake up and I am just laughing with everybody. It's something I've had to learn over time, because again, human interaction is ongoing. It doesn't stop. It doesn't stagnate. So it needs to keep happening. Yeah. So seek help if you need the help. See what you can read, what you can watch, what you can listen to that can help you kind of break out of that cage. So our dear.
So basically, you're saying join social groups, like social communities, is it?
Yeah.
Like so many
As if,
communities out
yeah.
there, you know. People actually, good people out here that have communities. I've seen
Yeah.
mental health activists with you know groups that are helping people come out listening, and it's a safe space and all these things. So join social groups; it will help. Also, encourage a safe consumption of social media.
Yes.
Safe consumption of social media because there is so much out there. You know,
Too much.
the people who think about suicide on the social media,
Yeah.
people who justify beating friends and all these things on social
What do you
media.
mean beating friends? Like literally.
If she betrays you, beat her up.
Bambi, we can fight.
Quarrel with your
Because you're
partner.
beating me up.
They'll beat you. Okay, the social media. What I'm trying to say is that social media has each and every person. You know?
Again, yeah.
It has
it brings-
everyone.
Yeah.
It even has people whose intention is to trigger you guys, to annoy you, to trigger you, to put you in a space that's worse than you were, like
Yeah, true.
send you to rock bottom. So I think you should see what you and your community and everyone around you and your children and your colleagues consume from social media. So I think that will help us, you know.
Yeah.
It will make you feel like if someone is saying stand out, leave your friends. If you have 20 friends and all of them cannot give you 10 million in one call, cut them off. No.
Yeah.
No.
Yeah.
You don't have to cut them off. So you will know that this person is probably speaking from I do not know what angle, I do not know how they look at life, but give also another thing, extend so much grace. Extend as much grace as you can.
it's also one of those
To
things you
people.
practice.
Yeah.
You don't just
Yes. Because
wake up graceful.
I am saying if Sonia is trying to isolate, probably there is a reason.
Yeah, you can reach
You
out.
can reach out.
Yeah, you're isolated.
Find out. Are you isolated? No, she's not.
This baby's kawa.
Yeah, so again, extend grace. Know why people are isolating. They probably are going through something.
Yes.
And
Yeah.
if you want to bring them closer to you, or you have a community and you're looking for people who are suffering in many ways, probably they have been betrayed. Probably they're grieving. So much can be going on. So a lot can be going on. So you can reach people and give them, the community and the other
Yeah.
help they need. So yeah.
I think so. So yes, guys, those are our 2 cents. That's what's been on my mind this past week. I did have to drag these guys into my thoughts
Yeah.
as well. But let us know. Do you think that you're on your own? Is it true that you're on your own? But also, because some of the ways that people have actually overcome some challenges is by listening from other people. So if you've gone into a dark place before, how did you come out of it? How have you coped with this isolation that we have going on? So you can let us know, engage with us, let us know what you think. It's been fun.
Yeah.
Do you think so?
Yeah.
Mm.
Yeah.
I mean, it's a bit of a serious topic, so we couldn't be clowns about it. Yeah. But this was very, very insightful, and I hope it will be for you as well. Do let us know in the comments what you think about this, how much further this conversation needs to go, because it needs to also be an ongoing conversation. It's the only way that we know how to navigate these things.
And heal together.
And we are not very open as Africans, as adults. Maybe let me
As
narrow it
friends,
to
first of all.
Ugandans. Yes, we are not too willing to open up. So
Yeah.
yes, you do let us know what you think. Until then, we shall be letting you know when the next episode drops. Watch out for that one, and see you next week.
Bye.
You that, you that, you that.